Update. I told my ex-wife that being a part-time dad has been the best year of my life. Original post. I, male 36, met my ex-wife, female 33, when I was 25. We fell in love, and the children came sooner than we planned, but it just happened and I loved the heck out of my children. Female 9, male 7.5, and female 5. First few years of our relationship was great, but then it wasn't. Looking back, it wasn't anyone's fault. We just became very different people. After we had our youngest child, our life became non-existent. I felt like for my wife, the purpose of sleeping with me was done. Now we have 3 beautiful children. After 3 years, we started having sex again in a form of Mercy hand works in bed. It wasn't enough for me, but she told me that she's tired and busy with 3 small children. I was tired too, but I was more than prepared to make effort to make plans and time for romance. Not only the physical act that suffered, but even intimacy and romance. I had vasectomy, so ex-wife didn't need to take unnecessary hormones because we were done having children. When it started affecting our children, seeing us very irritated and cold towards each other, I thought I should man up and pull the plug. We haven't been happy or intimate since before our second was born, and we haven't been really intimate since we conceived our youngest. We should have ended it way earlier, but the guilt of breaking the children's home was heavy, until I noticed that our home was already broken, and my children aren't stupid not to see this sellotape we're trying to hold it together with. So I asked for divorce. Everyone told me I was mad and to think about the children. And it was very hard in the beginning, yes. I left the house for my ex, rented a 2-bedroom nearby, and we started doing 1 week each. I was positively surprised at how much happier the children became, seeing me happy and not easily irritated and brooding. I started seeing my girlfriend, female 40, about a year ago, and what was thought to be a casual one-time thing turned out to be the love of my life. She is amazing in every aspect. Kind, loving, successful, funny, and so freaking beautiful. She's child-free, and she was happy that I was done having children. In my child-free weeks, I can just be with her, just being me. Late breakfasts in bed, morning fun, wherever I want in the home. I know it makes me sound like a selfish douche, but on my weeks I give 100% because I'm content and happy with life. She has met my children too, and they adore her. Why this lengthy background? I'll tell you. My ex, and my ex-mother-in-law and my own mother behind her, has been hinting that maybe we should go back together now. The children are older, we are less tired, and we are much happier now, so we aren't going to fight all the time like we used to. Ex wants a real relationship too, and she will give me as much sex as I wanted. Wow, is that really what she thinks I want? More mercies for my sake? To think of the children. Ex is tired of being a single mom, while I'm playing a bachelor every other week. Give them their old safe home back, no need for hopping from place to place. While the guilt was nagging at me, I rejected her advances and ignored her and the guilt because I'm happy for the first time in years, maybe ever. Until Friday when my girlfriend came home crying. She asked me maybe we should break up and that she doesn't want to be in the way of my and my children's happiness. She asked me if I was still in love with my ex. It broke my heart to see her broken. Like I didn't do a good job showing her what she meant to me and how much I loved her. Turned out, ex-wife has contacted her, telling her that she was the reason we aren't back together and the children are suffering. That we love each other and she is my fun for now. I called my ex livid and she called me selfish. I then told her that being a part-time dad was the best thing that ever happened to me because I'm a human, not only a father. My ex-wife started crying. I apologized for hurting her, but she hung up. Now I'm being bombed by my mom and the rest that I'm a selfish man and a terrible father. My mom even sent me a video with my children where she asked them how they would feel if mommy and daddy moved back together. And they were so happy, saying yes and jumping. I can't forget my daughter's face lighting up with happiness at a prospect. This video was sent to my girlfriend as well, and now she's distant and broken. I hear her cry whenever she thinks I don't hear her. Am I being wrong here? Am I being a terrible parent? What my family doesn't understand is that my children's happiness now is the result of me leaving our toxic, depressing existence. But how can you explain that to small children? Now for the top comments before reading the update. I would save that video and contact your lawyer about parental alienation. I would also limit contact with your mother. Sit down with your kids and explain manipulation in an age-appropriate way. Not the a-hole. Don't let your mother see your children. Take that video to your lawyer. What they are doing is parental alienation. OP's mother has done more to traumatize the kids than OP ever did. Absolutely disgusting behavior. OP, any child of divorce will say yes when asked that question. I know I did. But did I really want to live like that again, walking on eggshells because of the atmosphere in our home when my parents were together? Hell no. I hated it. It was horrible. Your kids like seeing you happy, and some a-hole in the family's lying to them that you would still be this happy if you go back with a mother. Your kids know it won't be like that, but are probably too scared to say no. They are happy you are happy. You tried your best. Do not go back. It won't change. And how did I know? As soon as you said your girlfriend was upset that she had been contacted by your ex. This is a nasty move on her part. This is disgusting what they're doing to your kids. Tell her to knock it off, or you will contact a lawyer. She's filling the kid's head with crap. Good luck to you. Just keep being a good dad when you have them and have a good time when you don't. You have balance and you do not give that up. Yes, it broke your heart to see your daughter's face, but that video was sent for that reason. Blackmail. She is sick. You get one life, and if you're happy, kids are happy, then that, my friend, is a win. Good luck. Tell your girlfriend you're sorry they got to her, but you are not going anywhere. Man, this hit close to home. My children literally were walking on eggshells, not knowing when their mother and I would have a row, even when we tried not to fight in front of them, and the guilt they felt because somehow they believed they were the reason for these rows. The kids always think it's their fault, just because they don't know why it's happening. But they see Daddy smile now, that's a big change for them. And stop doubting yourself if you are not a good parent. You would not be here asking for advice. This is a case of, I don't want him but he's happy. Now I want him back. How can he be happy without me? She expected you to be miserable and it didn't work. Choose to be happy. Your girlfriend is not a problem here. Tell her, you make me smile. Do you know how I longed for someone to look at me and smile and make me smile? Well, we found each other and I don't want it to change. Now for the update. Thanks everyone for the advice and suggestions. I'm overwhelmed with the amount of the support I got here. Here is my update, but before that, I want to address the elephant in the room, and that is that I have stepped on my toes with my bold statement about being divorced. I think the more expected and virtuous approach is to be devastated and guilt-ridden. My experience is something else, however, and I really tried to be genuine and honest here. Divorce is hard and terrifying. Many people, both men and women, hesitate and stay away longer than necessary because of one reason or another. I can't tell all unhappy people to get divorced since I don't know y'all's situation, but for those who can, do it. I was trying to explain what I have discovered. The positive side of having shared custody, because only the negative is talked about. I'm sure many divorced people get what I meant by having every other week child-free is awesome. We are humans with feelings. Our love for our children doesn't stop or take a break when they're out of sight. They don't need to be present for us to love and think about them. So I will double down and say that being a part-time parent is just awesome, no matter the gender. It is okay to feel that way. You are not a lesser parent for it. I've talked to my mother about what she did and she was very remorseful. Apparently, Dad has had a talk with her about this too. He was shocked at what she's done, and she seems to have realized the seriousness of what she's done. I took her apology, but I was firm on my boundaries, and that I didn't want her to be in my children's life for a while until I have sorted out their feelings and talked to them. She was reluctant to acknowledge. My girlfriend, however, I made it clear that after the children, she is my priority before myself, and definitely before her, Mom. So how much she wants to be in my life depends on how much she respects my life and the people I love. I've talked to my ex-wife too. Made it clear that under no circumstances is she ever to contact my girlfriend again. I told her that this was still a new relationship, and any contact is going to be with me. I told her that my girlfriend has nothing to do with my decision of divorce. I have no romantic feelings for her, my ex-wife, and that I know she doesn't have any feelings for me either. She just wants me out of convenience. I don't. She started crying and telling me that I didn't get to tell her what she's feeling. I agreed and apologized. I told her then I will only speak to my behalf. I want us to be friends and to raise our children to be the great people they're on the path to becoming. I don't want them to be used as pawns in the sick game she and the mothers are playing. I will not allow it and will do whatever it takes to protect them. I suggested that we can start family therapy because I needed her to understand the turmoil her and my mother put our children through. I never want that to happen again. She told me that she didn't want my girlfriend to be in their lives yet because she didn't know her. Fair enough, but I reminded her that our agreement is that when a relationship is serious, that's when we introduced our new partners to our children. And this is going to happen eventually, so she better get used to it. I also talked to her about me not going to take her workload on her weeks, meaning that I won't be dropping by every morning to wake up the children and take them to school. She will have to start waking up in the morning, like any other parent out there. About the food, I'll still send home-cooked food with my children on the weeks they're with her, because I know that I can't demand her to cook, but at the same time, I don't want my children to eat junk food. About me mentioning that her home is a pigsty, I know that my eldest daughter has mentioned that it wasn't always pleasant at mommy's house, but again, now I don't live there to clean. I can't demand my ex to live in a way she doesn't want to. I have, however, offered that if Fridays my children go home to her to spend a week, I will send a cleaning service so the children have a somewhat clean environment. She agreed. She was angry about having to wake up early, however, because she usually starts work at 10 a.m. I guess she will have to adjust. About my girlfriend. We were supposed to spend a coming weekend together with the children, but I will respect my ex-wife's wishes. So for now, at least until we have gone to some sessions with the children, then I can bring it up again. She's spending the rest of this week with me, however. I know that she feels guilty. I have tried to explain that she has nothing to do with whatever happened and that she was dragged into this situation without any reason. Because with or without her, I would never go back to my old life. That I left this marriage before I even knew she existed. I don't know if she believed me or felt reassured. She just said that she loved me. I apologized to her and I will try to make her feel comfortable with me again. I guess this is one of those tests that relationships hit, and we shall see if our connection is strong enough to overcome this. I think it is. Wait, so ex doesn't cook for the kids or clean the house, and you go over in the mornings to get the kids ready for school, and she gets a week off to herself every other week? What's wrong with her? Sounds like depression, honestly. I've never really heard of anyone, parent or not, single or not, who didn't clean, didn't cook, and didn't wake up at reasonable times. At least when they knew they'd have obligations in the morning, who wasn't depressed, honestly. Got divorced. Ex-husband is thriving financially and romantically. Yep, she's depressed. What makes you think she's like this only after divorce? Everything seems to point to her always being like this. Why did you think he got out? OP literally says it was the same before. He was just there to do the cleaning, etc. They're bending over backwards to give a woman an excuse. Holy crap on a cracker. You've been going to her house every day to get the kids ready for school? No wonder she thought she still had reason to think she was still in control. Also, make sure the counselor understands that the point of the sessions are for post-divorce co-parenting. Do not let your ex try to make it a reconciliation. Show the counselor the videos and all the other shenanigans your ex and both mothers have done. You should also let your ex know that your own mother is on restriction because of their crap. Good luck. Also, if you've been going to the house every day to get them ready for school, you're selling yourself short, calling yourself a part-time parent. Agreed. OP is finally getting a more equal share of parenting, and he has space and time for himself. I experienced this too, and it could be easy to wallow in self-pity as a father. Not getting to be a father all the time, and it does hurt, but there isn't anything I can do to manufacture more time with my kids. So I may as well invest in myself and find ways to live my life as a person to its fullest. I hope OP's ex-wife can understand this someday as well. That she was dragged into this situation without any reason. Oh, there was a reason. It was a bad one, but there was a reason. Your ex and the moms had it in their head that if your girlfriend wasn't in the picture, you had no choice but to get back with your ex. They were, of course, 100% wrong, but that's not what their fantasy told them. It makes me happy to read that you've set them straight. Right? As if the girlfriend is gone, so are OP's feelings for her, and in some miraculous way, he will fall in love with X again. Some people are just delusional. Last story. Am I the a-hole for telling my wife that my son will always come before her? My 32 male wife, 30 female, is concerned over our financial situation. I think her concern is misplaced, but I told her my income isn't going to change anytime soon, so I asked her what she wanted we do about it. She suggested that when my son, her stepson, turns 18, we should start charging him rent. I immediately shut down that idea and told her we would have to think of something else, because there's no way I'm charging my son to live in our house. She said it was reasonable since I was paying most of his college tuition, but I told her there are alternatives. I suggested we stopped eating out so much because it's $50 to $100 per meal, but she didn't like that idea. I suggested other things which she rejected, so I told her I'm open to suggestions, but my son isn't going to be our source of income. She told me I should think more of her than my son, which made me a little mad. So I told her my son will always come before her. She called me an a-hole after that and hasn't talked to me since. Did I overstep? Now for the comments. You had a kid at 14? But not the a-hole. You did right by your son, and your current wife needs to adjust her attitude. Maybe look for a better job herself if she wants a higher income household. It wasn't planned, but yes. My mother helped raise him until I was ready to raise him independently. I was 15, even though that's not much better. Kudos to you and your mom for stepping up and putting your kid first. Don't ever stop doing it. Not the a-hole. If she can't cut out eating out so much, there's no way the next step is charge an 18-year-old rent. Is she working? Can she get a better job? She doesn't work. Problem solved. Wife, we can make the freeloader in this house get a job and help out with the finances. OP, great idea. What do you think you could do for work? Not the a-hole. I'd be suspicious if any parent thought of others before they thought of their children, even a spouse. It's great that you're able and willing to support your son. On the contrary, your wife sucks for rather having an 18-year-old student pay rent than skipping some restaurant visits. And OP's current wife doesn't work herself either. Which is hilarious that she expects an 18-year-old to hold down a job and complete his studies by the by. The entitlement.